I have created a Yorkshire League system in Football Manager featuring 20 clubs from the historic English county. Simulating 50 seasons into the future, which club will win the most trophies and be crowned the champions of Yorkshire. Hey, how's it going, and welcome to another Super League video. And this time round, continuing the English theme, I have created a Yorkshire Super League and First League as well, featuring the 20 biggest clubs from Yorkshire here in Football Manager by reputation. So first things first, similar to most of my other Super League videos, I have taken over the Irish League system here today. We've got 10 teams in the Super League and 10 teams in the First League with no relegation. So these 20 clubs will feature in entirety for this video. Also, those of you who are new to my Super League videos, I go forward 50 seasons into the future, and at the end we'll count up the trophies from all the clubs, all the major trophies that is, and let's see who will be crowned the champions of Yorkshire. So first of all, let's actually check out the teams in the Yorkshire Super League here. Some very familiar names, it has to be said. One thing to point out though is there's not a single Yorkshire club playing in the Premier League in real life in this season. There could be one next season. There actually could be two next season, shall we say. Well, saying that, actually, it could be three. Two of them are very likely in Leeds and Sheffield United, but also Middlesbrough, if I'm not mistaken, are in the race for the playoffs in the Championship this season as well. So you've got Leeds in the Super League, as I just mentioned. Sheffield United, also their fierce rivals, Sheffield Wednesday as well. Middlesbrough, of course. We've also got Hull, Huddersfield as well, Barnsley, Bradford, Doncaster, and Rotherham as well. So looking at the 10 teams in the Super League, well, historically, Leeds will probably have to be the biggest club from Yorkshire, it has to be said. But there's a fair few teams on a similar level, I'd say. You know, Middlesbrough are a big club themselves. So are Sheffield United and Sheffield Wednesday. Huddersfield, they were one of the biggest clubs back in the 1930s. I know they actually almost dominated English football back in the early 1930s. Obviously, that's a long time ago, but still historic in their own right. Hull are obviously a decent-sized team as well. So are Barnsley. So are Rotherham these days as well. The weaker teams of the Super League are Bradford and Doncaster, who both play in the 4th Division, League 2 in England in real life. Also, similar to my other Super League videos as well, I have changed the reputation of the Yorkshire Super League here. It's actually the 21st biggest league in Europe at the start. I tried to match it to close to the Sky Bet Championship in England, and I think that's more than fair to match it to the Sky Bet Championship at the start of the video here. Hopefully the league will climb a reputation as we go forward as well, but at the start it's the 21st biggest league in Europe. Going down into the First League, and this is when we start to see the smaller clubs from Yorkshire, but the biggest club in the First League probably is Harrogate these days, to be honest, who play in League 2 as well, I believe. We've also got York City. Of course, York is one of the most historic cities in England and probably the world as well. Saying that, maybe not the world, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself there, but definitely one of the most historic cities in England, that is for sure. We've also got Halifax in there as well. We've got Bradford Park Avenue, a second club from Bradford as well. We've got Farsley Celtic in here, Guiseley. Also got Scarborough, Whitby, Marske, and we've also got Liver's Edge, who are the smallest team from Yorkshire featuring here today. Apologies to any Stocksbridge Park Steels fans. If there's any of you out there watching this video by some miracle, you just missed out by the reputation here, and Liver's Edge just made it into the 20 clubs here. Also, the Yorkshire First League, I've made it to be the 72nd biggest league in Europe. I tried to match it close to the Sky Bet League 2 as well, the 4th Division in England. You can't see the Sky Bet League 2 here on the list here, but it's very close in reputation to the Yorkshire First League. Also, along with those two leagues I've also created a Yorkshire Cup, and that is the 12th biggest cup at the start of the video here as well. Also, I have changed the generated players from Ireland to match that of England, 135 rating. So hopefully it will help with the regens. Also, every single club here is based in England, and has also set the base nation in England as well. But of course, the nation is set to Ireland, and the Continental Cup nation is set to Ireland as well. So they will qualify for European competitions. So we actually look at the clubs here by reputation. The biggest clubs in Yorkshire by reputation for manager are all 3-star clubs, and as you can see, Leeds are top of the list here, but there's not much difference between the top 6 clubs. The top 6 clubs all have a 3-star national reputation, which include Leeds, Sheffield United, Middlesbrough, Sheffield Wednesday, Huddersfield and Hull. So it's not really a standout club. Leeds are the biggest, but not by a massive distance, it has to be said. So it should make for quite an interesting trophy race, this one, hopefully. Below that point, though, we still have a couple of 2.5-star clubs, Rotherham and Barnsley. And below that point, we have 3 more 2-star clubs as well in Bradford, Doncaster and Harrogate as well. And the weakest club at the start are Liver's Edge, who only have a half-star reputation, but also Marske, I've never really heard of that club, to be honest. Not before I started creating this video, of course. They are only a half-star club as well. So these two are the smallest clubs in the video here. But to be honest, if we're looking at the champions, the team that should win the most trophies, it should be one of these 6 clubs here, or possibly one of these 8 clubs here. But if I'm talking myself, it should be between probably the top 4 clubs here. They are the 4 biggest clubs, I'd say, from Yorkshire: Leeds, Sheffield United, Middlesbrough and Sheffield Wednesday. As always, if you want to play this database for yourself, there'll be a link down in the description below. There'll actually be 2 links down in the description below. For those of you who don't have Steam, you can also download it from the Sort It Out SI website as well. I'll create a link there. So if you want to play this or download it and play with any club in the Yorkshire Super League or First League, then you can download it and play any of these clubs for yourself. So without further ado, let's go forward then for 5 seasons into the future. Which of these clubs will dominate the early stages? Well, 5 seasons played so far, and not much changes in terms of the reputation. It has to be said that 6 teams who started with a 3-star reputation still have a 3-star reputation. Leeds are still top of the list there. Middlesbrough in 2nd place now. Sheffield United in 3rd place. And we've got Huddersfield, Hull and Sheffield Wednesday are the weakest 3-star club these days. We have got 3 2.5-star clubs now. Barnsley and Rotherham keep their reputation, but also Doncaster now have a 2.5-star reputation. And now we have 2 clubs with a 2-star reputation in Bradford and York. And Liver's Edge are still the weakest team from Yorkshire, from this video at least, at the start with that half-star reputation, because Marske have managed to gain a 1-star reputation in these early stages. Well, into the Super League, and the early dominant force are Leeds, who have won 3 Super Leagues so far, but also Middlesbrough have won 2. Middlesbrough won the first ever Yorkshire Super League in 2023. Then Leeds won 3 in a row from 2024 to 2026. But the latest champions are Middlesbrough again, who have won it in 2027. Also nice to see that the league has climbed to be the 13th biggest league in Europe now, which is very nice. From 21st in the first season to 13th in the 5th season. Wow, if you actually look at this latest league table though, not much difference between Middlesbrough and Leeds, who are the dominant forces in these early stages. Middlesbrough won the league title, but only 1 point clear of Leeds in 2nd place there. Both of them qualifying for the Champions League as well, which is nice. Hull finished in 3rd place and Huddersfield in 4th, both qualifying for the Europa League. And Sheffield United in 5th place, qualifying for the Europa Conference League. In terms of relegated clubs in this latest season, well, that goes to Bradford, unfortunately, who just got relegated by goal difference past Rotherham. Well, down into the First League, and the latest champions have been York City, and they dominated the First League, it has to be said. They finished with 87 points, 24 points clear of Scarborough in 2nd place there. And in terms of weakest team, well, Liver's Edge had the lowest reputation, but Marske actually finished bottom of the league this season with just 24 points. Also interesting in terms of the past winners of the First League here, only 2 teams have won it so far. York have won it 3 times, and Bradford have won it twice. Down into the Yorkshire Cup, and the most dominant team so far have been Middlesbrough. They have won 2 Yorkshire Cups in the first 5 seasons, one in 2024 and also this season as well. So they completed a domestic double this season, winning the Super League and the Cup. Hull won the first ever Yorkshire Cup though in 2023. Doncaster won it in 2025, the lowest ranked team to win a competition so far. And Huddersfield have also won one in 2026. So Leeds haven't won a Yorkshire Cup so far, which is a little bit interesting. Middlesbrough have won 2 Cups and 2 Super Leagues, so they're above Leeds in terms of trophies won so far by 1. And in terms of the big boys, well, the only team not to win a competition so far are the 2 Sheffield clubs. Sheffield United and Sheffield Wednesday are both yet to win a competition. 10 seasons played now, and finally some change in terms of the reputation. We've got 2 3.5-star clubs now for the first time in the video. And Leeds are no longer the top boys in Yorkshire, because that goes to Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough are top of the list here, but Leeds are close in 2nd place there. These are the 2 teams with a 3.5-star reputation. Below that point, we have the chasing pack, 4 teams with a 3-star reputation, including Sheffield Wednesday, Huddersfield, Hull and Rotherham. And in terms of 2.5-star clubs, we have 3 now. Barnsley, Doncaster and Sheffield United. So Sheffield United have not started off this video very well at all. After 10 seasons, they're currently playing in the First League and they only have a 2.5-star reputation. Also, unfortunately, Liver's Edge are still the weakest team from Yorkshire in the video here, but the good news is they have got a 1-star reputation now. Well, into the Super League, and a little bit of a common theme going on here because the last 5 Super Leagues have all been won by Leeds and Middlesbrough again. And look at this, it's actually been switched around this time because Leeds won in 2028 as Middlesbrough won the first ever Super League title. Then Middlesbrough won 3 in a row, and then Leeds are now the latest winners of the competition. So in the first 10 seasons here, Middlesbrough have won 5 and Leeds have won 5. So you can't split the 2 clubs at the moment. Hopefully someone different will win the Super League going forward into the future. I'm sure they will, but at the moment it's all about Leeds and it's all about Middlesbrough. Also, the Super League has cracked the top 10 already, which is nice to see, just below the Belgian Jupiler Pro League. Well, in this latest league table, Leeds are actually pretty dominant, it has to be said. They finished 19 points clear of Middlesbrough in second place there. Sheffield Wednesday finished in third place, Barnsley in fourth, and Huddersfield in fifth place. And in terms of relegated clubs, well, Bradford have been relegated, bottom of the league with 26 points, and Scarborough relegated with 27 points. Are you wondering why only one team got relegated last time and 2 teams this time? That is because the team who finished in 9th place plays a relegation playoff against the team who wins the playoffs in the First League. Talking of the First League, well, Sheffield United are the latest champions in the First League. That is the bare minimum, it has to be said. They are back in the Super League. Can they stay there, though? That is the question. They finished 7 points clear of York in second place, and York finished 20 points clear of Harrogate in third place there. But obviously York did not do well where it counts in the playoffs, and Guiseley, who, despite finishing 22 points behind York, have been promoted along with Sheffield United to the Super League. In terms of weakest team, well, that goes to Liver's Edge this time round again. Well, not again actually, Marsk was the weakest team last time, but Liver's Edge finished bottom of the league with just 15 points. Wow, down into the cup, and it's a Leeds and Middlesbrough domination as well. Middlesbrough made it 3 Yorkshire Cups in a row from 2027 to 2029. Leeds won their first Yorkshire Cup in 2030. They then defended their crown the next season and won it back-to-back. But Middlesbrough again have won the Yorkshire Cup in 2032. So Middlesbrough have actually won 4 of the last 6 Yorkshire Cups, and they've won 5 in total already as well. So Middlesbrough and Leeds may be tied in terms of Super League wins, but Middlesbrough have won 5 Yorkshire Cups to Leeds' 2. Also, the Yorkshire Cup has climbed very nicely in its first 10 seasons. Already it's the 6th biggest cup in Europe. It started off as the 12th biggest cup, but now it's just outside the top 5. 15 seasons played now, and Leeds and Middlesbrough are still the top teams from Yorkshire, but now it's switched again. Leeds are now the top boys officially with that 3.5-star reputation. Middlesbrough in second place, again with a 3.5-star reputation though. Below that point we have 5 teams with a 3-star rep rating now. Barnsley in third place there, and we've got Hull, Huddersfield, Sheffield Wednesday and Rotherham. And 3 more teams with a 2.5-star reputation. Sheffield United still with a 2.5-star reputation, then Bradford and Scarborough as well. So Scarborough have the same reputation rating as Sheffield United. Also, in terms of weakest teams, well, that goes to Liver's Edge again. They've got a 1-star reputation still, but the good news is they're the only team left from Yorkshire with only a 1-star reputation. Well, 15 seasons played, still the same story. Only Leeds and Middlesbrough have won the Super League so far. Leeds have won 3 of the last 5 though. They actually made it 3 in a row for the second time, Leeds, winning it from 2032 to 2034. Middlesbrough won it in 2035 though, then Leeds, and then Middlesbrough are the latest champions again in 2037. Also nice to see that the Super League is now the 8th biggest league in Europe, so it's climbing very nicely. Nicer than I was expecting, to be honest, in these early stages here. Well, Middlesbrough did win the latest league title, and it finished 4 points clear of Leeds in second place there. Sheffield Wednesday in third place, also qualifying for the Champions League. So we've got 3 teams qualifying for the Champions League now, which is very, very nice. Huddersfield in 4th, Barnsley in 5th, and Sheffield United, despite not doing too well, finishing 6th place and qualified for the Europa Conference League. And in terms of relegated clubs, well, York finished bottom of the league this season with just 3 wins and 17 points. Well, down into the First League, in quite a thrilling title race, it has to be said. Bradford did win the league title with 80 points, but Harrogate and Guiseley in 2nd and 3rd place there, only 5 points behind Bradford. And in terms of weakest clubs, that goes to Liver's Edge again, who finished bottom of the league, this time though with 29 points. And look at this, the past winners here. Bradford, they get promoted quite a lot, Bradford. They have actually won the First League 7 times in 15 seasons, but they can't stay in the Super League to save their lives. As you can see here, they win the First League, then they get relegated, win it again, then get relegated, win it again. It's happened 7 occasions where they've won the Super League and got relegated the following season and then go straight back up. So can this time Bradford stay in the Super League? We shall see. Wow, now this is crazy. You know how I said how Middlesbrough are doing better than Leeds in the Yorkshire Cup? Well, scrap that, because Leeds have won 5 Yorkshire Cups in a row. All 5 have been won by Leeds. They won it in 2033, 2037, and it's safe to say they are dominating the Yorkshire Cup at the moment. They did win the Yorkshire Cup in the first 7 seasons, but since then, they have won 7 of the last 8. Well, it's taken a little while, but we've finally had a team reach the European final, and it was Hull. Hull reached the 2035 Europa Conference League final, but unfortunately they lost to Aston Villa in that final. 20 seasons played, and the theme continues, unfortunately, because Leeds and Middlesbrough are still the only 2 3.5-star clubs. But again, it's changed. Again, Middlesbrough are the top team and Leeds in second place. Below that point, we have 5 teams with a 3-star reputation, including Huddersfield, Sheffield Wednesday, Barnsley, Rotherham and Sheffield United. So Sheffield United got their 3-star reputation back, which is nice. And then we have 5 2.5-star clubs now, so it's growing as we go along here, including Hull, York, Bradford, Scarborough and Harrogate. And the weakest club are still Liver's Edge with that 1-star reputation. Finally, someone different has won the Super League title, and it was Huddersfield who won it in this latest season in 2042. Leeds won it again though in 2038, but before Huddersfield won it, Middlesbrough made it 3 Super Leagues in a row. So is that the 4th time? Yeah, that's Leeds have won it 3 times in a row twice, and Middlesbrough now won it 3 times in a row twice as well. Middlesbrough won it from 2039 to 2041. Well, in this latest league table, Huddersfield won the league title with only 66 points, 5 points clear of Middlesbrough in second place there. Leeds in 3rd, Sheffield Wednesday in 4th, and Barnsley in 5th place. In terms of relegated clubs, well, Bradford have been relegated again. That's a shock, isn't it? And Scarborough have also been relegated, but Sheffield United only finished 3 points above the relegation zone. Well, down into the First League, and York won the First League. They finished exactly the same points as Harrogate in second place, and exactly the same goal difference as well. And the only reason they finished as champions is because they scored more goals than Harrogate in second place there. Also, Guiseley only 7 points behind, and Halifax in 4th place, and Doncaster in 5th position with a -3 goal difference and only 48 points do not deserve to be promoted. But they made it to the playoffs just about, and they won the playoffs. So Doncaster had a poor season, it has to be said, but that shows how important the playoffs are. As long as you qualify for the playoffs and you turn up in those playoffs, it don't matter how many points you've got, Doncaster have been promoted along with York and finished champions. Just Harrogate must feel absolutely pig sick in this latest season, but unfortunately they did not turn up when it matters the most. And in terms of weakest club, well, Liver's Edge have made it off the bottom of the league, which is nice to see, and Farsley Celtic have finished the league as the bottom club with only 27 points. Wow, into the Yorkshire Cup, and we have a new weakest team to win the Cup, and that is York. York themselves, who won the Cup in 2038. Barnsley won it in 2039 as well, but then after that, the Leeds domination in the Cup continues because they've won 3 in a row again, this time from 2040 to 2042. Isn't it weird as well that we're yet to see, after 20 seasons, one of the 2 Sheffield clubs even win a competition? Very, very strange. I know Sheffield United won the first league title, but we're talking about major competitions here. Very, very strange start from the 2 Sheffield clubs, it has to be said. Well, we've had another team reach the Europa Conference League final, and this time it was Barnsley. But unfortunately, again, they have lost the Conference League final. This time they lost to an Austrian club in Sturm Graz in the 2040 final. Before we go any further with this video though, guys, please remember that if you do like the video, hit that like button for me. It's very important for the video success. And also, if you're new around here, do hit that subscribe button as well. It'd really help me out, and it's much appreciated. And also, if you want to recommend your own Super Leagues, do let me know down in the comment section below. I did create a North West England Super League a few days ago, but unfortunately, the view count on that is absolutely terrible. Not even 300 views so far, which is my worst Super League video to date. So if you do get time, go check that one out as well. I promise you it is interesting, and hopefully if you like this one, you may like that one as well. Well, it's taken 25 seasons, but finally we have someone who are rivaling Leeds and Middlesbrough at the top, and it is Huddersfield. the only other team to win the Super League, of course. These 3 clubs all have a 3.5-star reputation. Leeds are still the top boys, Middlesbrough in 2nd place, and Huddersfield in 3rd place. And after that point, we actually have 6 teams with a 3-star reputation, including Sheffield Wednesday, Sheffield United, Barnsley, Hull, Bradford, and Scarborough. Look at Scarborough go. Scarborough with a 3-star reputation. Very nice from them. And below that point, we have 3 2.5-star clubs, including Rotherham, Doncaster, and York. Unfortunately, Liver's Edge are still the weakest team from the Yorkshire League system here, but the good news is they have a 1.5-star reputation now. Well, Huddersfield may be rivaling Leeds and Middlesbrough now in terms of reputation, but in the last 5 seasons, it's been all about Leeds. Leeds have won 4 of the last 5 Super League titles, 2043 and 2044, and back-to-back in the last 2 seasons as well. Middlesbrough stopped their run though in 2045. Also, the Super League is now the 7th biggest league in Europe, officially bigger than the Eredivisie. Well, Leeds did win this latest league title, and they won it quite convincingly as well. 75 points, 16 points clear of Huddersfield in 2nd place there. Look at this race for Champions League football. Sheffield United just qualified for the Champions League this season, so are Sheffield United starting to get back to their best? We shall see. Sheffield Wednesday just below them, 1 point behind their fierce rivals. And Barnsley 2 points behind Sheffield United in 5th place there. Middlesbrough finished in 6th place this season with 53 points. So only 6 points off 2nd place Huddersfield there. So it's a massive race for Champions League football, it has to be said. But Middlesbrough in 6th place, not too well from them. Also, in terms of relegated clubs, well, Rotherham been relegated with 26 points. And look at that, Bradford. Bradford has stayed in the Super League. They finished in 7th place this season with 44 points. Well, down into the First League, and the latest champions have been Doncaster, and what a title race we had. Only 3 points separating Doncaster in 1st place there, and York in 3rd place. Also, Bradford Park Avenue only finished 2 points behind Doncaster as well. And Liver's Edge have had a season to forget, it has to be said. They finished bottom of the league with just 15 points. Wow, finally one of the Sheffield clubs have won a competition, and it was Sheffield Wednesday who won the Yorkshire Cup in 2045. After Rotherham won back-to-back cups in 43 and 44. Huddersfield won it in 2046 and Hull won it in 2047. And isn't it interesting that Leeds haven't won a cup in the last 5 seasons, nor have Middlesbrough. And also, look at this. Look at the cup's reputation go. The Yorkshire Cup is now the 2nd biggest cup in Europe, only behind the English FA Cup. So the Yorkshire Super League may not be one of the biggest leagues in Europe, it has to be said, the 7th biggest I believe, but the Yorkshire Cup is certainly tuning people in. The 2nd biggest cup in Europe. Well, finally, one of the Sheffield clubs have won a competition in Sheffield Wednesday in the Yorkshire Cup, and they've done one better than that as well, because Sheffield Wednesday are the first team from Yorkshire in this video to win a European competition. They won the Europa Conference League in 2044, beating Feyenoord in the final. Also, Leeds reached the Europa Conference League final as well in this latest season, but they lost to Wolfsberger. But Sheffield Wednesday to win a European trophy is very nice to them. Sheffield United need to pull their finger out now, because Sheffield Wednesday, they are firmly the biggest club from Sheffield. Well, let's be honest, at the halfway point here, there's only really 2 teams to mention in terms of the trophy race, and they are Leeds and Middlesbrough, of course. So after 25 seasons, Middlesbrough are in 2nd place with 16 trophies, and Leeds are in 1st place with 23 trophies. So Leeds are 7 trophies ahead of Middlesbrough at the moment, but there's still plenty of time, still 25 seasons to go for another team to force their way in it. Sheffield Wednesday have just won a European trophy and a Yorkshire Cup. Sheffield United just qualified for the Champions League. Huddersfield have a 3.5-star reputation. So they're going forward now to 30 seasons. Can someone different win the Super League title? It's taken 30 seasons, but now for the first time we have a 4-star continental rated club in the Yorkshire Super League here. And it is Leeds United. They are the biggest club in Yorkshire, and they are in this video as well. A continental reputation, the first time we're seeing that in the video, and a 4-star reputation. But also look at this, look at the chasing pack now. Now we have 5 teams with a 3.5-star reputation, which includes Sheffield Wednesday in 2nd place now, Huddersfield in 3rd, Middlesbrough down in 4th, then we have Barnsley and Hull also with a 3.5-star reputation. And in terms of 3-star rated clubs, we have 5 3-star rated clubs, including Rotherham, Bradford, Doncaster, Sheffield United, and Harrogate. Liver's Edge are still the weakest team from the league system here, with that 1.5-star reputation. Well, into the Super League, and Leeds have had the biggest dominating period so far of any club, the biggest sequence, shall we say. They won 5 seasons in a row early on, I believe. No, that was the Cup, wasn't it? Yeah, apologies. That was the Yorkshire Cup when they won 5 cups in a row, Leeds. The biggest sequence before this was 3 in a row, but now Leeds have made it 6 Super Leagues in a row from 2046 to 2051. But we have a new winner of the Super League, our 4th different winner, and it is Sheffield Wednesday, who have won the latest Super League title. So it took a while, but Sheffield Wednesday have finally woken up in this video here. They've won a Yorkshire Cup, they've won a European Cup, and now they've won a Super League title as well. Also, the Super League is now the 6th biggest league in Europe, just outside the top 5. Well, Sheffield Wednesday did win this latest league title, 8 points clear of Leeds in 2nd place there. We have Huddersfield in 3rd place as well, all 3 clubs qualifying for the Champions League. Then we have Rotherham and Barnsley qualifying for the Europa League, and Middlesbrough and Hull qualifying for the Conference League as well. So 7 of the 10 teams are now qualifying for European competition. And also, our Middlesbrough starting to fall off now, because last time we checked they finished 6th in the league, and now they finished 6th in the league again. So our Middlesbrough's best days behind them. They also haven't won a league title since 2045. Well, in terms of relegated clubs, Sheffield United have been relegated for the 2nd time at least. They finished bottom of the league this time round, below Harrogate on goal difference. So yeah, what a story for the Sheffield Wednesday fans this season, because not only did they win the league title, they also got to see their fierce rivals finish bottom of the league and get relegated. So you do not want to be a Sheffield United fans these days in this season, do you? Well, down into the First League, and Bradford are the latest First League champions, and they have absolutely battered the First League. Bradford finished top of the league with 85 points, 34 points clear of their nearest challengers, Guiseley, in 2nd place there. And in terms of weakest club, unfortunately that goes to Liver's Edge again, who finished bottom of the league with 30 points. Well, down into the Cup, and Bradford won their first Cup in 2048. Hull have won it again in 2049. Back-to-back Cups for Leeds in the 2050-51 there, and Rotherham also won it in 2052. And also, 30 seasons played now, and we're still yet to see Sheffield United win a major trophy. And judging by the way they're doing in the league system here, it's not looking too likely. So Sheffield United, what a disappointment they've been so far. They're one of the biggest teams in Yorkshire, and I was expecting them to rival Leeds and Middlesbrough, but I haven't seen anything from them yet at all. Well, we've had our 2nd team win the Europa Conference League, and it is Barnsley. Barnsley won the 2049 Europa Conference League, beating Villarreal in the final, so what a win for Barnsley that is. They've already lost the Europa Conference League, less than 10 seasons prior. But also Middlesbrough have reached the final as well, but they lost to Braga, unfortunately, in 2051. But Barnsley not doing too much domestically, it has to be said, but they've reached 2 European finals so far, and thankfully they have won the latest Europa Conference League. 35 seasons played, and we have a new top boy in Yorkshire, and it is Sheffield Wednesday. They have been growing over the last 10-15 seasons, and now they are top of the list with a 4-star continental reputation. Leeds are in 2nd place now. They've still got a 4-star reputation, Leeds, but only a national rating these days. And then we have 4 3.5-star clubs, including Barnsley, Huddersfield, Rotherham and Middlesbrough. And then below that point we have 3 3-star clubs, including Hull, Sheffield United and Harrogate. Well, Sheffield Wednesday are definitely the dominant team at the moment. They made it 3 Super Leagues in a row from 2052 to 2054 before they were finally stopped by another new team, another new winner. And it was Barnsley. Barnsley won it in 2055. Sheffield Wednesday won it again, though, a year later. And then Huddersfield are the latest champions, winning their 2nd Super League title. But Leeds haven't won a Super League now since 2051, since they won 6 in a row. And Middlesbrough haven't won it since 2045. So it looks like, thankfully, we ended the Leeds and Middlesbrough domination. And now we're in a little bit of a Sheffield Wednesday dominated period. Although saying that, they've only won 1 of the last 3. And also Barnsley, I did mention they didn't do much domestically in the last checkpoint there, but they certainly have done now because they have won a Super League title. Wow, Huddersfield did manage to win the Super League this season, but only 1 point clear of Leeds in 2nd place there. And Sheffield Wednesday in 3rd place, only 6 points behind themselves. And Middlesbrough in 4th place, qualifying for the Champions League as well. So now we have 4 teams qualifying for the Champions League, which is very, very nice to see. Huddersfield, Leeds, Sheffield Wednesday and Middlesbrough are all playing Champions League football next season. Rotherham in 5th place, Barnsley in 6th place, so Barnsley didn't do well this season, both qualifying for the Europa League, and Hull in 7th place, qualifying for the Europa Conference League. Quite a thrilling relegation battle as well, it has to be said. Bradford finished bottom of the league with 29 points, but only 3 points separating Sheffield United in 8th and Bradford in bottom place there. Also, Farsley Celtic have made it to the Super League and survived, which is nice to see as well. Well, down into the First League, and the latest champions have been Harrogate, who won it with 72 points, 8 points clear of Doncaster in second place there, and Halifax in third place. And unfortunately, Liversedge are still the weakest team. They finished bottom of the league with 25 points. Well, into the Yorkshire Cup, and Leeds have won 2 of the last 5 Yorkshire Cups in 53 and 56. Sheffield Wednesday have also won 2 of the last 3 in 2054 and 2057, and Barnsley also won it in 2055. I think Barnsley did domestic double then in 2055, so certainly a season to remember for Barnsley there. Also, the cup is still the second biggest cup in Europe. It can't climb any more at the moment though, but can it get above the FA Cup by the end of the video? It'd be nice to see, wouldn't it? Well, we've yet to see any team reach the Europa League final yet, but in the last 5 seasons we've had 3 different teams reach the Europa League final, which is amazing to see. Harrogate were the first, but unfortunately they lost the 2053 Europa League final to Man United, so what a mixed match that is. Harrogate in the European final against Man United, and unfortunately they lost that final. But 2 seasons later, Rotherham reached the Europa League final as well, losing to Roma. But a season after that, we had our first winner of the Europa League, and it was Leeds. Leeds beating West Ham in the 2056 Europa League final. 40 seasons played now, and again we have a new top boy in Yorkshire, and it is Barnsley. Barnsley are now officially the biggest team from the Yorkshire League system, and they're the only team now with a 4-star reputation, albeit with a national rating there. But Barnsley to be the top team in Yorkshire is very, very nice to see. After that point, though, we have 4 3.5-star clubs, including Huddersfield, Leeds, Sheffield Wednesday, and Middlesbrough. And then we have 4 more 3-star clubs in Harrogate, Rotherham, Farsley, Celtic, and Hull as well, and Sheffield United. Sheffield United officially are a weaker team than Whitby. So Sheffield United have been an absolute disgrace. Disgrace in this video. Shame on them. Shame on them. Well, in terms of weakest club, it still goes to Liversedge, but now they've got a 2-star reputation, Liversedge, and they're actually the only team with a 2-star reputation. Every other team has got at least a 2.5-star reputation, which is very, very nice to see. Well, into the Super League, and Leeds have won 2 more back-to-back in 2058 and 2059. Sheffield Wednesday won it again in 2060, followed by Huddersfield, and Barnsley are the latest winners, winning it for the 2nd time in 2062. And also the Super League has cracked the top 5 in Europe now, which is very, very nice. Just above the league, earning 5th place there, but it's cracked the top 5. One of the top 5 biggest leagues in Europe is the Yorkshire Super League. Barnsley just about managed to win the Super League this season, 1 point clear of Leeds in 2nd place there, and only 5 points separating the top 4 clubs. Huddersfield in 3rd and Sheffield Wednesday in 4th place there. Middlesbrough in 5th place, Rotherham in 6th place, and Farsley Celtic in 7th place, qualifying for European competition. I did look into this. It did say that they haven't qualified for a European competition there, but they are highlighted. I think that is due to their stadium, and I did check it out, and I think they're playing, well, what it says is they're playing at Elland Road next season for European matches. So Farsley Celtic playing in European football is amazing to see. And also, even more amazing, you see Whitby. Whitby are now in the Super League for the first time, and they survived in the Super League as well, finishing 8 points clear of Scarborough in bottom place, who have been relegated. Well, down into the First League, and the latest champions have been Hull, who won the league title with 78 points, 15 points clear of Sheffield United in 2nd place there. Marsk also finished in 3rd place, and Liversedge finished as high as 5th position this season. That means Liversedge actually qualified for the playoffs and could have got promoted to the Super League, but unfortunately they just missed out. And look at this. The weakest team have been Bradford Park Avenue this season, finished bottom of the league with 32 points, and York in 9th position there, only 4 points clear of them. Wow, would you look at that. Into the Yorkshire Cup, and Harrogate have won 2 Yorkshire Cups in the last 5. In the last 5 seasons, Harrogate have reached the Europa League final and won 2 Yorkshire Cups. So I think it's safe to say that is this is the biggest period in Harrogate's history by an absolute mile. So good for them. Also, Huddersfield won it in 2058, Sheffield Wednesday won it in 2060, and Barnsley are the latest champions, completing a domestic double again. And look at this, I can't believe my eyes. The Yorkshire Cup is now officially the biggest cup competition in Europe, overtaking the FA Cup. So that is an amazing story that in the Yorkshire Cup here. It's officially a bigger cup competition than the FA Cup. The FA Cup is the oldest competition in football, by the way. So the Yorkshire Cup, what What an amazing story that is. The Yorkshire Cup, the biggest cup competition in Europe. What a team. What a team Barnsley are. Barnsley on a second team to win the Europa League. They won the Europa League in 2059 and get this, they beat Man United in the final. One of the biggest teams in the world, and Barnsley dispatched of them in the 2059 final. What a story that is. And also Barnsley reached the Europa League final again 2 seasons later. But unfortunately this time they lost to Chelsea. But Barnsley getting some revenge for Harrogate, it seems, by beating Man United in the 2059 final. Now we have 2 teams who have won the Europa League. Leeds, of course, and now Barnsley. We've had another team reach the Europa Conference League final, but unfortunately Hull lost that final to Real Sociedad in 2061. Well, with 10 seasons left to go, the trophy race is definitely heating up in terms of second place. In 4th place we have Barnsley, have won 8 trophies so far. In 3rd place we have Sheffield Wednesday, have won 10 trophies. Middlesbrough in 2nd place with 16 trophies. But way out in 1st place, probably going to win the most trophies of the video, are Leeds United, who have won 34 trophies in the first 40 seasons here. But the race for 2nd place is certainly heating up, and to be honest, it looks like between Barnsley and Sheffield Wednesday, although Middlesbrough in 2nd place at the moment, Middlesbrough haven't won a Super League title since 2045 for 17 years. So Middlesbrough need to do something in the last 10 seasons. And also, can we see a different winner in the Super League in the last 10 seasons? 45 seasons played now, and Sheffield Wednesday are again the top team in Yorkshire. They got their 4-star continental reputation back. And Barnsley in 2nd place, also with 4 stars, but only a national rating. And then below that point we have 4 3.5-star clubs, including Leeds, Middlesbrough, Huddersfield and Hull. And then we have 5 3-star clubs, and not really familiar names you'd expect to see here with 3-star reputation. Farsley Celtic, the biggest of the 5, then Rotherham, then Scarborough, then Harrogate, then Bradford Park Avenue. Bradford Park Avenue are now officially the biggest club from Bradford. And look at Sheffield United. Oh my word. Oh my word. Sheffield United are now the 6th weakest. No, apologies. The 5th weakest. The 5th weakest team from Yorkshire. And look at the teams who are bigger than them. Absolutely disgraceful from Sheffield United. I think it's safe to say they will probably end off the video trophyless. Well, into the Super League, and Sheffield Wednesday have won 3 of the last 5 in 2063 and back-to-back in the last 2 seasons. Leeds have won another one though in 2064, and also Barnsley have won another one in 2065. And look at this, the Yorkshire Super League is now the 4th biggest league in Europe, overtaking the Bundesliga as well. So the Yorkshire Super League is going very, very well indeed. What a title race we had on our hands this season though. Sheffield Wednesday just won the league title, 1 point clear of Leeds in 2nd place there. Barnsley, the 3rd team, qualifying for the Champions League. We have Huddersfield and Middlesbrough qualifying for the Europa League, and Hull and Rotherham qualifying for the Conference League. Harrogate, unfortunately, have been relegated this season, finishing bottom of the league with 27 points. Down into the First League, and Bradford Park Avenue won the league title, and quite dominantly as well. They finished 18 points clear of Sheffield United in 2nd place there, and 23 points clear of local rivals Bradford City in 3rd place. And in terms of weakest team this season, that goes to Marsk this time round. They finished bottom of the league with 31 points. Well, into the Cup, and Sheffield Wednesday have won 2 more in 63 and 67. Barnsley won another one in 64. And Middlesbrough won back-to-back cups in 65 and 66. And still the Yorkshire Cup is the biggest cup competition in Europe. We've had another new winner of the Europa Conference League, and this time round it goes to Hull. Hull won the Europa Conference League in 2065, beating Trabzonspor in the final. Well, with 5 seasons left to go in terms of the trophy race, in 4th place you have Barnsley with 10 trophies now. Sheffield Wednesday in 3rd place with 15 trophies. Middlesbrough in 2nd place with 18. And Leeds a mile clear with 35 trophies. So Leeds will go down as the biggest team from Yorkshire. That is an absolute guarantee. Thanks to their Yorkshire Cup wins, especially they were dominant in the Yorkshire Cup, but also the Super League as well. They've won more Super Leagues than any other team, so they do deserve it, it has to be said. But now we've got quite a thrilling race for 2nd place here. Barnsley, 8 trophies behind Middlesbrough. Seems unlikely, but Sheffield Wednesday only 3 trophies behind them. Let's go forward now into 50 seasons. Can we see another new team win the Super League? Well, 50 seasons played now, and a great story to end off the video, because we end off the video with 3 4-star continental clubs, including Sheffield Wednesday, top of the list, then Barnsley, and then Huddersfield. So not the three teams you were expecting, but Sheffield Wednesday top, Barnsley second, and Huddersfield third place. We then have 5 3.5-star clubs, including Leeds, Middlesbrough, Rotherham, Farsley Celtic, and Hull as well. And then we have 5 more 3-star clubs, including Bradford City, Bradford Park Avenue, Sheffield United, Scarborough, and Harrogate. And also Liversedge end off the video as the weakest club, but their reputation climbed from half a star to 2.5 stars in 50 seasons. So I think it's safe to say that the league system is working very, very well for the weaker Yorkshire clubs. Well, into the Super League, and Sheffield Wednesday ended off the Super League pretty dominant, it has to be said. Sheffield Wednesday won 5 of the last 7 Super League titles. They won it again in 2068 to make it 3 in a row. Middlesbrough finally won another one again in 2069 to stop Sheffield Wednesday's domination. Sheffield Wednesday made it back-to-back Super League titles in 1771, and Huddersfield won it in 2072 for the 3rd or 4th time, I believe, but they are the last ever winners of the Yorkshire Super League. And also the Super League ends off the video in 4th position in terms of league reputation. I can't quite believe what I'm seeing here in the last ever league table here, because Farsley Celtic came 1 point behind Huddersfield to win the Super League title. Oh, that's devastating. That's absolutely devastating for Farsley Celtic. That all they needed was one more win and they would have won the last ever Super League title. And who on earth would have predicted that? So yeah, crazy stuff that. But also Farsley Celtic are playing Champions League football next season. Unbelievable story that. Huddersfield won it, 1 point clear of them in 2nd place. Sheffield Wednesday in 3rd place. Barnsley in 4th, Rotherham in 5th, and Middlesbrough in 6th place. And what on earth happened to Leeds in the final ever season? Leeds finished in 8th position in the last ever season with 44 points. Absolutely terrible from them. By the way, Scarborough got relegated, finishing bottom of the league with 21 points, but they have qualified for the Europa League, which must mean only one thing, or 2 things actually. Either won the Europa Conference League or they won the Yorkshire Cup. Hull have also been relegated along with Scarborough. Well, down into the First League, and Bradford Park Avenue won the final ever First League title, winning it with 69 points. And Sheffield United managed to get promoted in the final season with 61 points there, just above Whitby in 3rd place. And in terms of weakest team, well, Marsk ended off the video as the weakest team, finishing bottom of the league with 29 points. Into the Yorkshire Cup, and Huddersfield won back-to-back cups in 68 and 69. Barnsley won it in 2070. Rotherham in 2071. What a great story that is. Scarborough, despite finishing bottom of the league in the Super League in the final season, they won the Yorkshire Cup in 2072. Also, the Cup ends off the video as the biggest cup competition in Europe. They held on to that title for at least 15 seasons. So, great story that is, the Cup. The Cup ends off as the biggest cup competition in Europe, and the Super League is the 4th biggest league in Europe. So, I think it's safe to say this is a serious league system. They've done it again. Barnsley have won the Europa League for the 2nd time in the video. They won the final ever Europa League from the video as well, beating Valencia in that final. So they've beaten Man United in the final and Valencia in the Europa League final. So that is a great story from Barnsley. Also, look at that. The 2 seasons prior, Middlesbrough lost the Europa League final to Aston Villa, and Leeds lost the final to Roma. Into the Conference League, and Hull lost the Conference League this time, unfortunately, losing to Fiorentina in the 2068 final. Rotherham, though, won the Europa Conference League in the following season, beating Rapid Vienna in the final. And Barnsley also reached the Europa Conference League final again as well. This time, though, losing to West Ham in 2071. Well, before I actually count up the trophies here, let's actually check out the records from the league system here. In terms of most times won of the Super League, that goes to Leeds, who won 20 Super League titles. The highest attendance also goes to Leeds, who played against Middlesbrough in 2069. The lowest attendance in the Super League, get this, 683 fans watching Farsley Celtic versus Whitby. Wow, funnily enough, the biggest win went to Sheffield United, which is, they didn't deserve it, that's for sure. They beat Bradford 6-0 away from home as well in 2029. The highest scoring match also featured Sheffield United, who lost 4-3 to Hull in 2033. Most matches won in a row went to Leeds, who won 11 games in a row. And most matches lost in a row went to Scarborough, who lost 13 games in a row. Leeds also went 28 games without losing a game in 2037 to 2038. And Harrogate went 33 games without winning a game in the 2041 season. Leeds went 9 games without conceding a goal as well, a record, and Rotherham went 9 games without scoring a goal in 2025. Into the First League, and the most times winner of the First League actually went to Bradford City, who won it 14 times in total. Most points in the season went to York, though, who got 90 points in the 2029 season. They also won 29 games that season as well. Most league defeats of the season went to Liver's Edge, who lost 29 games in the 2026 season. Doncaster drew 20 games as well in the 2065 season, which is quite a crazy record. And the highest attendance in the First League went to Sheffield United, unsurprisingly, with 31,884 fans against Doncaster in 2039. And the lowest attendance went to Liver's Edge versus Whitby, with only 116 fans in attendance there. The biggest win was Harrogate, who beat Guiseley 5-0 in 2023. And the highest scoring match also featured Guiseley, who lost 5-2 to Halifax. Bradford won 12 games in a row in 2026, a record. And Marsk lost 12 games in a row in 2028. Scarborough, though, went 33 games unbeaten in a 2043 season, which is quite a crazy record. And Liver's Edge went 37 games without winning a game from the 2nd of August 2049 to the 1st of August 2050. So 1 day short of a full calendar year there for Liver's Edge. York went 9 games without conceding a goal in 2025. And Liver's Edge went 12 games without scoring a goal in 2036. Well, into the Yorkshire Cup, and the most times winner of the Yorkshire Cup were Leeds, who won 14 times in total. Well, of course, no team ever managed to reach a Champions League final, unsurprisingly, but in the Europa League, we had 2 different winners. The most successful team, though, were Barnsley, who won 2 Europa League titles, and Leeds also won 1 as well. And in the Conference League, we had 4 different winners of the Conference League, all winning 1 trophy. That goes to Rotherham, Hull, Sheffield Wednesday and Barnsley as well. Well, the moment we've all been waiting for in terms of the trophy race, in terms of the top 5. In 5th place, that goes to Huddersfield, who won the last ever Super League title, of course, who won 9 trophies in total. In 4th place, we have Barnsley, who won 13 trophies in total. In 3rd place, we have Sheffield Wednesday, who won 18 trophies. Just above them in 2nd place with Middlesbrough, who won 19 trophies. And the most times winner of the Super League and the Yorkshire Cup, winning the most trophies, were Leeds United, who won 35 trophies in total. Also, Leeds won the Club World Championship as well, by the way, in 2069. So Leeds were definitely the best team of the video, but they didn't end up the video very well with 8th position there. But also, we had some amazing stories. Huddersfield won the last of a Super League title. Sheffield Wednesday were very good in the second half of the video. Farsley Celtic qualified for the Champions League in the final ever season, finishing 1 point behind Huddersfield is an amazing story in itself, it has to be said. Barnsley, European gods. They won the Europa League twice, the Europa Conference League once, and they also won the UEFA Super Cup twice as well. So Barnsley, amazing in Europe. Did win a couple of Super League titles as well. Middlesbrough had a very good 50 seasons as well. In terms of biggest disappointments, well, we all know who that is. By an absolute country mile, that goes to Sheffield United, who failed to win a major trophy in the entire 50 seasons. Absolutely terrible from them. But anyway, guys, that is the end of this video. Please remember that if you do like the video, hit that like button for me. Very important for the video success. And also, if you're new around here and you want to see more Super League videos, do hit that subscribe button as well. It'd really help me out and be much appreciated. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.